You want to grill a steak for some reason.
Welcome, everybody, to Three Dimes special 420 episode today. 420 is the International Day of Potheads. Is that what today is?
Well, they say either it's 420 because that's like on the East Coast. It's 520 maybe. I don't know. And that's when you get off of work.
It's 420 because everybody gets off work at 4, and by 420,
I think that's the idea. And then
I think that's it.
It's Adolf Hitler's birthday.
What?
Well, that makes sense.
There's also some legal code. That of like
Legal code.
like it's an offense is number 42.0 possessing cannabis in municipal street or something silly.
Interesting.
Toss the keys.
The Little C's. Did you know Little C's knows all his hoes come to my door and then they go to his door to fuck some more?
Yeah.
I don't get
That's
it.
what I heard.
I don't get it. Explain.
Pipes. The head shops have pipe sales. People ask on
So-
420.
So, what's your best pot story?
Best pot
Yeah,
story.
Your favorite?
I gave you one, and it wasn't it was a bad one. I mean, I don't think there's ever a best one.
Do you have a bad trip on the Devil's Lettuce?
Yes. It was actually on the 10 Days of Dimes I was listening to today. I described it, and it was aliens attacking me from the sky because I got a bad. I got
a bad batch.
Yeah, it was laced with opium. I think that's my conclusion.
Because that's what people do.
I had
They take their cheap drug of weed and then they put expensive heroin on it for people to smoke the heroin. Who smokes heroin? Do they smoke?
Tested.
I don't think you're supposed to smoke heroin.
Okay,
in
well,
the first place.
I don't.
You
smoke,
had it tested.
Yeah.
Okay.
They took
Where?
they took his weed.
I sent the sample
Which he
into
bought
the FBI investigations of Wisconsin.
They took his bag of weed when they pulled him over, and it was weird because he bought it in this white powdery form, and they dumped it in this clear liquid, and it turned blue. And
Yeah,
they're
that's
like,
how they tested it. Yeah.
Yep, this is marijuana.
Mhm. I don't smoke weed that much, so you guys are gonna have to have stories.
I don't participate in the devil's lettuce. I'm pleading the fifth on this one. Sorry, boys.
Okay, Tony, you're the
So
only one left.
a long time ago.
I can't think of a
when
good
I was
stories. I
just-
can think of the bad ones.
I was gonna say I could think of the bad ones.
Well, let's talk people out of smoking weed.
I had another.
Give me your worst.
When I was in college, I went to Whitewater and I would buy $5 bags with the guy, maybe one of the guys here that's watching on Facebook. And and we would just smoke
Is that
$5 bags of weed
Is that
in
good?
like a day.
is that quality? I mean, it sounds.
I mean,
It
back
was
then,
trash,
a
dirt weed.
$5 bag of weed.
This is
like mounting into this cup.
yeah.
like,
This is 20.
Yes,
this
he
is
said-
22 years ago.
yes,
now.
Steven
This
says.
happened. Yeah, Danny knows. Danny knows. For those
So-
that was 22, 33 years ago.
many years ago, like when I was a kid. I was in Las Vegas, right? And weed was legal.
When you were a kid, way back when.
Way back
okay.
when.
Okay.
It was a tiling conference, and you
For those,
weren't a
for
child.
those fact checking in the audience,
Weed's been legal for like 4 years, whatever. So I go to the weed store, which was quite the big deal. It was called Reef, REEF. And you walk in and there's
clever.
like
That's really clever marketing for a reefer store to call it reef.
you walk in
It's hip.
and there's a bunch of armed guards sitting there and a bunch of dudes just in the lobby asking if you got any extra weed for them. Like, no, I haven't been through the door yet.
Like they give you free, like someone's going to walk out of the store and be like, here, homeless person, here's your fair share of the weed I just bought at the store.
So you ever watch the movie Half Baked where he's talking about the different drug dealers and he says, "Damn dog, did you go to weed college?"
Sure.
That's how everybody who works at the Reef is.
You get a bud tender, right? They call them
You-
bud tenders.
You walk in and
Clever.
they ask you,
Again, clever, right?
They ask you,
That's-
what strain are you looking for? I'm like, I don't know. Is the one that I used to have back in high school still available? And they're like, no, we don't sell that here. You might want to go around the corner in that alley and you can buy that kind of weed. We sell good weed here.
Yeah.
And they go through about 90 strains. And I said, you know what? Just give me whatever's the cheapest.
You should have just bought the Tyson stuff. Tyson's got his own line, Mike Tyson.
I thought he just sells like the wrap for.
No,
it.
he's got his own line of
Okay.
weeds
I mean,
too.
I guess it would make sense. Yeah.
But so I bought a little weed vape pen.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
And-
fucked me up one time.
And I sucked that thing around Vegas for like 4 days.
So hold on, time out. Someone liquefied the heroin for you to smoke.
No, this is a separate,
This is a different
separate occasion.
Okay.
This time I fell out of a moving vehicle and I almost died.
And you're telling me you don't have any weed stories. Jay's jumping out of moving cars.
I said I didn't have any good stories, Tony. That's not a good story.
This sounds like it's going to be pretty good.
It's a bad story, and it affected my life in a bad way. I changed the way I looked at life.
Jeez. Dramatic
I
much?
thought I was dead.
Holy cow.
So now I'm leaving Vegas, and because I don't really partake
Have any money
in
left?
the devil's lettuce, I have this weed vape pen, and it's a disposable thing, right? And it's supposed to get a normal person who smokes weed high like twice.
I don't think that's how it works.
And
but-
I'm like 4 days into this, and I haven't even made a dent into it.
yeah.
And I'm like, well, I can't take it on a plane back home. Like, I'm not trying to get full cavity searched on their terms.
It's very
only
much
my terms.
It's very much illegal to go across the imaginary border drawn by our government
yeah.
and into an airport.
So I'm like, what do I do with this pen? And I see some guy standing there with a backpack. And I go, what's up, dog? You smoke?
The backpack guy definitely.
I'm like, what's up, dog? You smoke? And he turns around and he has an English accent.
Oh, I do right now. You got something for
He
me?
told me to stick my head between my legs
That's
and
Scottish.
suck my own arse.
For those fans of the podcast, you know what that's about.
But
It's kiss me or Ash.
the guy starts tearing up,
What?
and he goes,
This is a good story.
I've been in America for 40 days so far. And he goes, I just got to Las Vegas 10 minutes ago. And he goes, America's been great. It's really been a nice place. He's like, but this is the nicest thing anybody's ever done for me. And
This
he goes,
is on the airport grounds as he's
no,
coming
no.
out.
This was in a casino.
Okay,
like
okay.
I'm walking to the shuttle
So
line
he's
with my
seen
bag.
some of Vegas already, and then they
Yeah,
said,
like
okay.
he's like basically. I got
'Cause you could
I
have
got
set
in a
this guy-
cab. I came here because this is where I'm staying, and he was just walking into the hotel,
Okay.
and he got real emotional about it, and he's like, "This is the nicest thing somebody's done." He's like, "You're a complete stranger, and you're giving me all this weed," and
Who's giving you a? He's just giving you a pen.
So he
Or, I
clearly
mean, you're just giving him
Yeah.
a pen.
he
So
clearly hadn't visited any other states of the union that are legal. He must have visited the 6 where it's not.
I don't know, man. This dude hugged me. He told me he's now had the best trip he could possibly have.
40 days, and you gave this guy
40 days.
$20 of
Not
left
even,
of a
I think-
$30 vape
I
hitter.
think retail was $20 on what I bought.
when was this?
Oh, many years ago.
I wonder if he could.
Was
He's
this
like 4.
Corona time?
Like 4 years ago.
I wonder
pretty
if he
far.
could buy it at the store without being a U.S. citizen.
Oh,
It'd be an
they
interesting
they
conundrum.
they
I mean, you just
did
do
put
s-
my ID in a database.
It's like the porn store where they scan it into the little machine, and you're like, oh, I guess fucking government knows I'm.
Obama knows I'm a pervert now.
Oh,
like
shit.
when you scan this ID, it's not going to tell what categories I'm looking at, is it?
So I went to Utah right when weed became legal in Vegas. And as we were leaving Vegas airport, I remember there was this canister in like the car rental return place that says, "Put your drugs in here. You can't take them with you." I wonder how much protection those things get put on when the, like in the evenings from the bums and shit. Like that's the cash cow. It's like robbing a bank. That's the drug depot. You never know what you're gonna get. It's like a mystery bag, box full of drugs.
Maybe they if no one. How does that work though? Like, if
I'm glad you gave it to the British man.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was a foreigner. I might not have gave it to him.
back.
you could tell, couldn't you? By
Oh,
his-
sorry, sir. You're not from this country. We're not going to. I don't want to be responsible of making this your America. Free drugs, gambling everywhere. This is America. He goes back and tells his family, I spent 40 days in the most boring state of Nebraska. And then I went
He's
to
like, I've been in
Vegas.
Iowa for 39 days.
I got this pot vape pen from this guy on my way into my hotel, and I never left my room.
You know, sometimes I think about that guy, and I wonder, is he on his podcast talking about this same situation at the same time?
I'm
Go
wondering-
ahead, Jay. Be
I'm
the
wo-
guy.
I'm wondering if
Hey,
you.
mates. Welcome to my podcast here.
It's not Australian.
For 420, we're going to talk about the guy who gave me a weed pen one time.
Oh, great. The weed pen. Okay. No, if you gave it to an American, do you think he'd have been like, I don't want you leftover shit?
I don't know.
I think it would have been the other way around. I think it would have been like, hey, take your half smoked.
Like the bums who don't take change, they only want bills and Venmo.
Yeah.
They got the I don't have any dollars. This isn't
I
a
got a
fucking
square
response.
reader.
For those of you out, this is a pro tip from 3 Dimes.
So
Tune in now for a pro tip from 3 Dimes. When a bum asks you for money, don't use the reason I don't have change, because them son of a bitches now take Venmo. That has been a pro tip from
they get-
3 Dimes.
they get the free Obama phone. You can sign up for a Venmo account for free from that, right?
I don't know if the bums are getting Obama phones anymore. Obama hasn't been
No.
giving out phones for like
Well-
7 years now, man.
Yeah, they had it. They had it. No, he was president 4 years ago.
and he's still stacking fucking Obama phones. It's a lot more than 4 years, too, by the way.
No, it's not.
Oh, really?
Trump's
Presidential
no, you're right.
election is in
Oh, yeah,
2024, which
Yeah, I'm
is in
sorry.
1 year.
Okay, that is like 8 years ago. So what?
7.
Phones can last a while. They're still using
Not
the
really.
Obama phones.
You're an Apple user, and you're trying to tell me your Apple 28 or whatever you guys are on it doesn't get revamped every 6 months.
14.
14.
You'd think it'd be higher than 14, though. You think it would be if they do it every 6 months.
Well, because then they do the 14E, 14S,
yeah, exactly.
14 Max,
every
14
year
Lite.
is a different number, but every 6 months a different letter. 14S or 14X, 14
All right. So,
Slim
Jay-
Pro.
You were going to tell us about the time you jumped out of a moving car.
No, I wasn't going to tell you anything. I'll tell you the story quick though.
Okay.
Anybody got anything about jumping out of moving cars?
Never done it.
I was okay, here we go. So I was at my grandparents' house. We were going through my whole family was there. This is like a little bit after my grandfather had passed. So we're going through all his stuff. And I don't even know why I'm telling you this part. This doesn't even matter. So everybody was there. One of my family members' boyfriend had a weed pen. And
Ben had weed.
I'm not telling you who it was. And they were like, try this. You want to just take a hit? Just one hit. Not going to hurt you. So my cousin did it first. Or I might have actually, no, I probably did it first. I did it first. And then my cousin did it. And I was like, I'm not feeling nothing. So then I did it again. And I took a really big hit and held it in for a long time. And I kid you not. After about 45 seconds, my world turned into the world went upside down. I was in a separate world. I could not believe how much it changed my life in that 45 seconds. I wasn't even the same person. I was walking there.
You were fighting people with your shirt on?
My wife was telling me I was just walking around aimlessly in the house, going in the basement, going back upstairs, walking in the kitchen, just walking around, just like I was
telling everybody how you're about to become vegan.
This all sounds pretty harmless so far.
Okay.
Sounds kind of awesome.
And then at first I was like, this feels great, dude. Oh my God. And then I get into the car. Okay, so this is probably a half hour I've been in the house, and then we're leaving at this point. We're driving home. I fell asleep. I woke up and I was like, I thought I was dead. I thought I was like getting an out of body experience. So I was like, I felt like I was seeing myself in the seat
From
sleeping.
weed, man?
Well, obviously, there's probably something else in this fucking thing.
I don't know. Did anyone else
This
do
weed
this?
also had heroin.
Did anyone else do this?
Oh, I'll tell you my cousin's story after I finish with mine, what he did, because he doesn't smoke that much either. But anyway, I woke up and I thought I was dead. And then for some reason, I opened the car door because I was in the back seat. I wasn't in the front. I don't know why. I think that's where they put me because I couldn't even walk. So I opened the door and just jumped out. And then I fell into a
Sinkhole.
no, I fell into someone's yard, but down the
Culvert.
yeah, I just rolled down their hill into the fucking water area, you know, where the water
Into the
creek. Yeah, and I'm just screaming, I'm dead, I'm dying. My wife's like, you're not dead, you're not dying. So I run up to the car, and then I start, I look at the back of the car, and I start praying. I'm sorry, my children, my kids. I left you too early in this life. I thought I was dead. I seriously thought I was dead.
Hey, is your wife watching right now?
I don't know.
Tracy, you on?
I don't think so. Okay, so after we get all through this crazy experience where I thought I was dying, cars were passing and I'm doing some weird backflips and rolling in the grass and screaming weird things. You know, there was a cop down the street. He actually didn't come and see what was wrong with me. He didn't even fucking care. The white privilege, woohoo.
You're probably lucky.
And then I got home and my uncle and my dad had to literally drag me up the stairs and put me on a
Were you
couch 'cause
drinking
I could
also?
not walk.
Were you drinking also?
Yeah, I had a couple of shots of my grandpa's old
Okay.
ass liquor.
I'm going to say
They
it was
were
the
drunk
liquor.
as fuck too.
Get the fuck out of here, it was not. And so I jumped out of the vehicle, so that was the thing.
Okay.
And it scared me. It scared me. I hate it. So now I fucking don't want to do it. The story about my cousin, real quick. He did the same thing as I did, smoked it, and he was telling this very dramatic story. I noticed because he was telling he was saying it out loud, and my son was listening very intently about a ghost being in his house. And he was in the middle of the story. I don't want to tell you this. He was in the middle of the story, and he was like getting really into it, like right to the plot of it. And then he's just all of a sudden just does this. He just goes, and then. And he just like not falls asleep, but his head nods down. He looks down. He just doesn't say anything at all. And the funniest thing about this was my son was like, he's like, what happened? What happened to your cousin, Dad? I really wanted to know what happened in the story, but he wouldn't finish it. I asked him so many times to finish it.
So
we were not both wasted, Dan.
I would.
It's 100% the booze.
It was not the booze.
Yeah.
It was
I would like.
I've drank so many. I'm a professional drinker. Okay,
I would
that does
like.
not happen from regular alcohol.
No, then you smoked weed.
No,
I
it
would
wasn't
like to
weed. This
hear-
thing was a freaking. This was the devil's fucking pipe.
I would like to hear the same story from the other people
That
were
also
there.
smoked on this thing.
No, that were there. Like his wife.
Okay.
Obviously, Dan has
Danny
a
was
different
there.
account
He's
of it.
fucking. They were wasted. And they
I think Dan might have been wasted
then
too.
then
I can have my wife
then
tell you.
Jay inhaled more weed than he had in the prior 2.5 years of his life in 30 seconds, and he blacked the fuck out and got wasted as shit.
Do you want to
from
hear
it.
You want to hear from my wife?
They carried him into his house. I told them both not to do it. Dan, you're a saint.
Yeah, Dan. No, but what do you mushroom
They
like
both have mushroom-like experience.
It was
from
on it.
smoking the
Gary.
herbs?
Do you want me to call my wife and have you tell you quick?
I want to hear the story.
Put her on the Bluetooth.
I'll have her
All
tell you
right,
quick.
Let me do the talking.
Put her on the Bluetooth, bro.
Thought it was connected.
No, you're not. Clearly. Yeah. Oh, Kai Mini.
Hey, who was that? Lachlan?
Get it on the BT,
I'm trying.
man.
Tracy, do you mind talking about drugs for a second?
Get her on the Bluetooth.
I'm trying. It's not working.
Call her right back. You gotta call her right back. Call her right back.
Like, call
Hang
right
up,
back.
Call back.
Connect to your shit. Get your
All right.
shit together, bro.
Okay. So this, I mean, I guess everyone has their own aspect of what happened. Mine was scary as fuck.
Is your computer still hooked up?
In short,
Nah, not to the Bluetooth.
it was very short, and it was.
Yeah, it's still connected.
Now,
Okay, now try it.
Okay, yeah. Now I can. Because
So-
yeah, there you go.
All right, let me do the talking.
Let Tony do the talking. Let Tony do the talking.
I think you might be a little loud. Maybe.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
hon.
Yeah. Okay. Hey.
So I need to hear the story from your perspective of the time
Okay.
Jay jumped out of the car.
Oh, that was the craziest day of my life.
See, told you it wasn't lying.
He asked me to pull over. He was feeling
Whoa,
sick or whatever.
Tracy, you need to start before
What?
that.
He wants you to tell the beginning of
Oh.
that stupid story.
Well, I don't know. He took a hit of his cousin's boyfriend's e-cig thing that had something in it, and him and Tyler started acting all wacky.
Don't say Tyler. I said cousin.
No names.
Oh.
Beep that out.
Cousin.
You guys are so good.
Just kidding.
Okay.
And I don't know. They were just being crazy. They like locked themselves in the basement.
Quick,
No. Let her go.
quick, tell the story about Lyric wanting to know the story when Tyler stopped talking.
Oh, what?
When Tyler-
Cousin, you mean?
Oh.
Your cousin started
You already
telling
said
a story. And it was about something haunted. And he just stopped mid-sentence and just stood there, like not saying anything.
But
And
not
Lyric's
sleeping.
like, no, not sleeping, just staring
Like a
into
zombie.
space. Yeah. And Lyric's like, is he going to finish his story?
Everybody
Because
wants
he
to
really
know the
wanted
end.
to hear it.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
did.
He wanted to know what was so haunted about this whatever he had that was haunted.
All right. So how does Jay get into this car?
Well, I don't know. He got in. I'm not sure how he got in.
Because he told me
How he got out, he
told
fell
me-
out of it.
he told me he went to sleep and he woke up in the back seat of a car.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
He was in the front seat of the car.
Are you sure? I thought it was
And-
in the back.
No, you were in the front seat. Jaden was our nephew was sleeping over, and the boys were all in the car. And you asked to get out, and you like fell out of the car into the side of the road.
I rolled down.
And-
What is that called when
You-
people have that little water?
It was like a water drainage.
Yeah,
ditch
just
Yeah,
roll
area.
it's
down
called
the
a
hill.
culvert.
He rolled out of the car. He's like laying to the side of the car, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, are you gonna be sick?" And you're like, "You gotta call 911." And I'm like, "What?" And you're like, "I'm dead. I'm dead right now." And I'm like, "You're not dead. You're right here. Everything's fine." You're like, "No." You like thought we were in a car accident. I don't know. It was crazy. You like thought you were dying,
Remember, I went to the back
and
of
you
the
were like.
truck.
You were like, call 911. Yeah, you walked to the back. And then I'm like, no. I was like, just get in the car. And Jaden, or our nephew, started calling 911.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
And I said, hang up right now. And then he did. And then they called it back. And I was like, it was a mistake.
Oh, it's
And then
this family again. Okay, I know you guys always call the cops. They're
He
like,
meant to call
Yeah,
411
it's
for
crazy.
information.
But a cop rolled up as we were pulled over to the side of the road.
Yeah.
Randomly too. And then I called Jay's dad, and his dad and uncle came and helped me get him in the car because he thought he was dead. And we were all like dying. I don't know. It was crazy.
And they carried me up all the stairs, and
They carried him upstairs. He laid on the floor. He was puking.
I don't think I was puking.
Yes, you were. I had a trash can
Do
there.
you think
were
it was
too.
alcohol induced?
No, this was a mix of alcohol and whatever was in that.
It was mostly that, though. I think
It probably was mostly
Did
that.
anyone
but you were
else?
drinking enough.
Did
So-
anyone else participate in this vape pen that didn't hallucinate their brains out?
His cousin's boyfriend was,
Oh yeah, he was
Was
smoking
he
it all
laughing
night.
at them like a son of a bitch?
and he was fine.
Was he laughing at them?
That's what
He drove home, actually.
No, well, yeah. He didn't really see everything that happened.
That's what he said. He told my cousin that's what he does to people. He gives this fucking shit to people to see him get really fucked up
Was it
and fuck with them.
one of them street ones or was it one of the legal ones you buy at the stores?
They're
yeah,
from
but-
Illinois, so I think it was legal,
Oh,
but I'm not not positive on that.
it was something I'm never gonna touch
Yeah,
again.
you don't trust people from Illinois.
It was a scary situation, and I don't want Jay doing any drugs now.
I wouldn't
Because
either.
I don't know what's going to
You
happen.
don't want a husband who thinks he's dead.
No, I
think
don't
I
want
was
that
dead.
ever again in my life.
I saw
No,
I saw
he
God come
said
down.
he was dead.
Yeah, I saw God come down. He's like, I am real, Jay. Don't listen to Jehovah's Witnesses.
Celebrate Christmas.
I think you have probably felt that way for a while, so I don't know if that was the drugs. But
Thank you,
So,
Tracy. 'Cause
so
All right, Tony's got more.
Jay didn't think that this was a good story, and I think this is a gold story.
This is
This is a
gold.
great story.
well, there's more than I don't remember half of it. I just
Well,
remember.
that's why we're getting somebody else's perspective.
Mm.
You left
Yeah.
out the part where you were puking and crying.
You want me to call the one that called 911, my nephew, and asked his story?
I
I've
don't even
never
know
been
if he'll
so
remember it,
scared.
but he was really scared. He was petrified. All the kids were.
He's
they
like
were all
17.
sitting in the car crying. He wasn't
What?
17.
They were all crying
This is
They were all crying.
Don't
Every
do
kid was
drugs.
crying in the car.
Oh,
because they
kids.
knew I was dead.
where you're like, see,
No, they
kids,
didn't.
this is your brain on drugs.
Yes, I said this is why you don't do drugs. Don't do them.
They're watching Uncle Jay
No.
roll around in a crick.
I know.
What is he
I know.
doing? He's getting turtles, honey. Just sit down. He saw a turtle.
That's a great story, Tracy. Thanks for
Yeah.
telling it.
Thanks, Chase.
Sure, no problem.
All right.
Okay. Have a good time.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
All right, now we need to get the unnamed cousin.
We love the calls. We love the calls. That's
You
good
really
stuff.
want me to call him? I don't think.
No, that's
No,
all right.
we're not doing it.
I think it was like 2 years ago. Anyway,
Your story jived. It was a great story.
I told you I don't fucking lie.
That's a great story though.
Okay, fine. I didn't know what seat I was sitting in. Sorry. I mean, that's the only thing. So, are we still talking about weed and drugs for 420?
We can talk about whatever you want.
Okay. Well, I just didn't know if you wanted to continue talking.
Well, I thought maybe I'd take you guys back a ways
Uh
to the days of pre-internet.
oh. Ooh, that was.
You remember the days of pre-internet?
Yeah, it sucked.
I long
were-
for him back.
when you-
So
When you were in school, you needed to do a autobiography or something, and you had
you
to go
had to do it.
yeah.
You had to go to the library, find the fucking books, get like 10 fucking books, and read through all these books to find the answers instead of just asking Google
And I
or
went to
Siri.
I went to MPS. They sharpied half the words in books that you needed. That sucks.
What do you mean, Sharpied?
So you couldn't
drew,
read 'em?
They drew dicks on all the
just so,
pages
just so
and
you
stuff.
couldn't read them. They
Kids
just
wouldn't mess
bad
around.
So this has some books in it too. So you ever hear them stories about people who remodel their houses and find shit in the walls?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Of course
There's
we
a
do.
trend going around of people putting like the little dead spots in their cabinets. They stick the little like plastic skeleton in there.
Sure. I like
Stupid.
that. So this guy at my work, his basement flooded a while back, and he's got remodeling coming in, and he thought he'd save some money and do some of the demolition himself. And he found some books in the wall, in the ceiling.
Encyclopedias.
All right. Did you bring these books?
So I brought these
What
books.
the fuck? You?
Okay, so he comes into work and he's like, dude, look at this picture. I found these in the ceiling.
Why would he?
The Flesh Peddlers, documenting a case history of young girls for rent.
Oh my god!
These are from the 80s.
What the hell?
These are mail-ordered porn books.
Oh my god!
Can I borrow that?
In the back, there's like phone numbers.
The
Order form.
the Columbia House version of this book.
In order form. Okay? So
This is what the scouts used to
so
do.
he finds not just one book, but a whole shit ton of books.
The same
in
type
his
of
attic.
book?
Men were her meat.
Oh
Wet.
my-
Hot lips. She had them everywhere, and she had never turned down a chance to use them either. Okay?
What the?
Slaves to Incest.
Oh my god!
$2.50 by Linda
You're
Wilkinson.
showing nudity.
Who decides to buy the
Okay.
one
Okay,
about
so then-
fucking their family?
So then it's got all these books: The Widow's Fantasy, Boy Something, Nymphet. I like this one: Mistresses for Husbands from the Explicit Library.
Take the boobies down.
You can show drawn boobies. You can't show real boobies.
No, John.
can't.
Okay,
No,
okay.
you can't.
So in this picture he gives me, it's all these books. There's also there's got addresses on it.
Why did he give
He's
these?
got the letters written from the man who used to live there
Oh my god!
to the company, along with order cards filled out. Suck you, one bottle, $5. Backdoor Girls, Metro Box, 1560s.
Oh my god! I feel I regret touching that book.
Okay. And then there's the good stuff. This is where he started ordering, I'm sure. This is the real stuff here.
Chick.
Ooh, coochie shaving was really a big
So-
deal back then.
So I thought today I'd take the opportunity to pick one of these books.
And just open up and read a paragraph.
Read
Nick.
page 69.
on which book? The Widow's Fantasy?
No,
No.
the incest one.
Oh, God. That's got to be the worst.
Oh,
The Flesh Peddlers.
that is so gross. Yeah, go to one of the pages.
Page 69.
You got to read it like Jason Gaston.
Had in his pocket. But she learned quickly what it was that Mr. Y desired when he locked his fingers into her hair and directed her downward. Karen learned quickly while her father
It was really named
thrusted an
Karen?
arched and churned beneath her bobbing head. She grew inventive, twisted and shook her head like a wildcat. Like the hellcat she was, is claimed by her father. I don't like this book
Oh my
already.
god. Oh.
Stories of incest ordered through mail order catalog, pre-internet porn.
That is the craziest fucking
How
thing I've ever
disappointed
seen.
do you think this guy was that he spent all this time reading when
So-
Pornhub came out?
All right, an enema for Amelia. Okay, you can't show the boobs, but come on, this is
That's
great.
Oh, you're showing the fucking. What is that?
It's an animal bag.
They're that big?
It's her prolapsed asshole, Jay.
Ah, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
Okay, there was one scene that took place in the locker rooms of a country club late at night. All the clients had left, and the only one that was there was the young stud lifeguard, a famous porn actor in his own right, and the innocent young girl. She was changing her clothes when he burst in on her and surprised her. At first, she was shocked, but after a few kisses, she was under his control, like most girls were in porn movies.
Dude, this is not. This is a lady ordering these. This
So
is a-
No,
messed
I
up.
have the individual's name on his delivery card. It's not
So-
a female.
So, do you think this company also
I don't get it.
sold
I don't get it.
a mock book cover that fit on all these that said like normal book?
No, but there was in the back of one of these.
In the back of Hot Lips?
There was in the back of one of these books an order book that had like sex toys in it and love juices and such. I can't find it anyways, but dude, this shit's legit. Mail order.
That's weird.
Oh man, there's like in the back of this one, dude, there's like a whole section of
Pictures?
fucking Craigslist
Oh my
order book
God.
with pictures of women in their profiles, dude. That's legit. This is old school shit, man.
Are there any phone numbers we can call?
Just from the companies, probably.
So this is the 70s.
You gotta order them so that the phone numbers.
This is the 70s, right?
Oh man. It's late 80s or early 80s. These are all from. It look like
These are from 2018.
The book that I read saw was
novels to make your cock
four.
stand up. Every erotic novel for virtually every taste. Sexy tales that thrill, stimulate, excite. 2 1/4 each, 3 for $5 or 6 for $9.
So what's the
weird.
name of this company? Let me see if they're still in business.
The book,
Yeah.
for entertainment of adults only. The book's Star Distributors, copyright 1977. That's the book.
Star with 2 R's or
No,
what?
just one. Yeah, dude. It's pretty fucking hilarious. So I asked the guy, I was like, dude, was this like in an access panel or some shit? He's like, no, dude. This was in the rafters of the basement, underneath the drywall of the ceiling of the basement.
Do you want to know the publishers? It's called copyright. Publishers, consultants, office box. Do you want all this stuff?
It says call now, but there are no phone numbers.
All rights reserved. No portion of this book may be reproduced. Okay, this is fucking dude. This is the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Oh, I turned to a page and I see licked. I licked and nibbled on her tiny clit. Ooh, you should have read this one. Here you go, Chris. Read this one right here.
Is that Angie's for enemas or whatever? Enemas for men?
Mistresses for husbands.
Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, I'm not good at reading. That's clear. I licked and nibbled at her tiny clit for a few minutes until she began to relax again. Convinced that it was going to hurt her, I think too that she was starting to get really excited by what. Oh no, I'm not reading this.
So what do you think the
Tony's searching. Look at Tony's.
Yeah, Tony's enthralled.
This is Tony's face when he's trying to figure something
So
out.
I thought
It's
you
like
would
a-
like these, Tony, because you're against
it's
the
like
internet porn.
It's like a smirk. It's a smirk, but at the same time, you know he's doing something.
Tony already gets all his porn inside of a black plastic bag. So,
So
I'm
I
curious
type
what you
in-
think.
I type in Star Distributors, and the number 2 place to buy it is, you'll never guess where.
Amazon.
You mean the original online bookstore?
Yeah.
But for some reason, they only got the gay versions.
Of porn books?
Yeah.
Why are you
yeah.
showing me?
Well, I figured you'd be into it.
So they only have gay porn books, male on male.
So maybe they thought that was more lucrative.
What? So do you think these things have any value?
All right, that's enough.
I don't know. They're all currently unavailable.
All right, let
I'm
me
trying to
ask you
find
guys
one.
this.
Yeah,
Of
search-
all the books I showed you
Search
and
on-
the magazines,
Search on eBay. Maybe those are worth some money.
of all these books and magazines, which one would you bring to the Frick Frack Blackjack Casino at the Summer Camp Music Festival, where you can only bet with things, not with money, to be the most valuable one to bring to gamble with? An enema for Amelia?
I guess the most famous sounding one. Yeah,
The one
that
that,
was
the
actually kinda
incest
funny.
one?
No, I do the that one.
They're
Amelia Earhart
for
one.
sale on Alibris from $17 to $154.
These books?
You
Yeah.
might have an
So-
expensive book.
I kept telling him, I'm like,
Why did he let
12
you have
They're
them?
probably. I'm going to give them back. He
12
wants.
vintage adult paperback bundles from Star Distributors for $250
For $12.
yeah, 30-day returns.
What?
Well, you can't have a returns on a used porn book.
This book is sticky.
So I asked the guy, I'm like, dude, was this, he tells me they were hidden in the walls. So I'm like, what do you think the story was? Do you think the guy was like, ooh, I'm remodeling my basement. Finally a way to get rid of this porn stash I know I can't throw in my trash because my wife will find it? Or what do you think? He's like, I can't throw this out. I got to put it somewhere. And he
How
just
could you
buried
throw it out?
He bought it from some flippers too. So like it wasn't them.
Sure it wasn't. Always trying to save a buck on insulation.
Hey, did you know that that book, The Mistresses for Husbands, is by Larry Garland, and that's the same guy from Curb Your Enthusiasm?
That's Jeff Garland.
Oh, Jeff Garland. Well, that's what came up.
You think he had an earlier life in his fucking teenage years?
Maybe it's his brother. Maybe it's his brother. You never know.
Yeah, probably nobody else has that last name.
Shut the fuck up.
So I wanted to get your take, Tony, on the porn. I thought you would enjoy those.
He
It
wants
takes
to
you
borrow them. He already
you
asked you to
immediately
borrow
asked to
them.
borrow them.
Yeah.
It takes me back to my childhood when I used to find my grandpa's dirty magazines.
I thought it would be good for this podcast because
I'm gonna tell you right now. Tony is not reading anything to get excited. He'd be within 2 sentences. He'd already have a flaccid penis.
I read with a stutter, so none of it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He would have trouble. He needs pictures. No words.
Interesting.
No words at all.
Yeah, words don't do anything for me but frustrate me.
So you think that the remodelers put that in there as insulation?
Yeah.
That was their.
Mhm.
That's how they got there.
That is
How
the
do you
weirdest
think
thing
they
I've
got
heard.
there, Jay? They were sealed in the ceiling.
That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. I don't know. They maybe something happened. They fell out of someone's walking down. I don't fucking know. This is the weirdest thing.
They're
I've ever fucking
in
heard.
between the wood and the
Yeah, and I
floor,
think
and
okay.
then the wood.
All right, the guy's upstairs. His wife's coming. He's like, "Oh shit, I gotta hide these things." Fucking throws him in that.
No, it was in a sealed area.
Yeah, he was doing it while they were working on it. He was looking at it.
Oh, I see.
You know, shit. My wife's
Do you
coming.
think the first workers were like, "Oh man, we're gonna get this guy good and hide his porn in the ceiling"?
Yeah. Okay, that's great. What a great episode, guys.
Yeah, that was a good one, man. 420 episode.
420, and I don't smoke, but it was great.
See ya on Thursday.
See you on Thursdays. But guys, watching live, stay tuned. We're not going nowhere.
Whoa. We are going nowhere.
What did I say?
We're not. You said we're not going somewhere, which would imply that we are actually going somewhere.
It's like the fucking idiots who say hot water heater. Who's heating hot water?
or irregardless.
I mean, both of those words you guys just said make sense to me.
No, the water's not hot that you're heating. You're just using the water
I still
to
don't
heat it.
care what you guys say. Ugh.
All right, Jay, bring us in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 3 Dimes podcast, Thursday show. Listen to our 420 show on Tuesday. It was a
Yeah.
wonderful show.
It was released on 5/20.
Yeah.
Shut up, Tony. I'll wait another 2 months before I do anything with
This
these.
podcast is recorded live on YouTube, live to the world. Make sure you tune in on YouTube every Thursday to watch us live rather than listening 3 weeks later on the audio.
I agree. And you can't watch us. You can't listen to Tick Tones on the podcast. You have to watch us on YouTube or Facebook. So this is our
It's an exclusive.
this is exciting. We
For all of
we
you
should start
on-
charging a Patreon.
For all of you
Charge
on
for that
Facebook,
shit.
just want you to know
I
we're
could
going to be
never
leaving
charge Dan.
Facebook soon. Dan delivers the mail.
I can never charge Dan. You're so funny, Tony. You're such a hilarious guy. So so this week, I get the husband of the award
The
So,
husband, of the year.
Husband of the award?
yeah, that sounds weird. I get the Husband of the Week award. Is that better?
Husband of the week. You're
Yeah, that's what I'm
claiming
gonna
this.
say.
You haven't even
Yeah.
asked what I've done this week.
I don't care. I get it anyway.
Okay.
This is what I
Better
did.
be good.
I'd bring my wife lunch at work. Okay? I'd bring her a Baja Bowl from Panera Bread.
That's my
Panera Bread.
go-to.
And obviously, I'd never been to her work ever. Okay, this is the first time I ever brought her lunch.
You
so-
go and it's just all shirtless dudes and her.
No, I went to the wrong building first, and that actually is not a joke. But it was
Shocker.
it was the building next door. I found it, and so this
Well,
building is
it
actually.
is funny you bring that up because about 2 weeks ago I asked, did your wife work at a certain place? And you put, yeah, I think so. And then like an hour later you got back to me and said, no, I asked her and she works at this place.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't know. Okay, so she works at like a boating place. RVs are us. I don't know what the fuck it's called. So
I know what it is. I know
what
the
it
jingle.
they have a jingle.
Yeah.
There's a there are commercials for this place.
Something marine. You got everything you need but the water.
Oh my god, that's their commercial.
Yeah.
Fuck, I heard that commercial before. So I get to her place. It's a gigantic place. I can't believe how big it is. And I'm like expected to find her. I was first off like I don't know how she expected me. I think she did it on purpose, knowing that I was not going to find her. I walk in the building, and then I just go up to the receptionist, and I'm like, delivery for Tracy? Yeah, I don't know what to fucking say. So
Did you act like you were from Uber Eats and be
Yeah.
on your phone the whole time?
Yeah,
Like that?
exactly. No, I did. And then they called to her, dispatched to her, saying, "Hey, Tracy, you got a delivery for food. I don't know who it is, Uber Eats or whatever."
There's
And
some
then I-
fully
Like some-
bearded boy in the lobby for you.
Some scuzz bucket wearing a Puma hat is here with some Panera.
I heard, I saw the lady. She just giggled, and I knew right away that Tracy's like, "Oh, that's my husband." But I didn't want to just say, "Hey, my wife's here. Where is she? I have food for her." So I just wanted to pretend like I was like I didn't even want her to tell her the receptionist that it was her husband. I just wanted to be like, "Oh, okay, go give her food. She's upstairs."
It was a surprise.
No, she knew.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know what she wants from
You're
Panera.
such a gentleman.
I didn't know what she wants from Panera. Just
You've been
got it.
married to your wife.
Can we call
all
it what
this
it's
time?
called? Pantera bread already?
Pantera.
Thank you.
Well,
Pantera.
she actually asked for it the day before, and I was like, I can't do it. So I did it the day after. So I did it at least, and I bring her food, and it was this giant warehouse. She sells all the shit, and all the things are in racks. So I walk into where she is, and she's like, "Do you want to meet the girls I work with?" I'm like, "Okay, fine. I don't have nothing else to do. I'm not working."
She got in front of all her friends and you called her Sarah, didn't you?
No, that makes no sense. So I get there and then I say hi, hey, how you doing? She introduces me, blah blah blah. Then I leave, and then she comes home from work later that day, and she's like, just all of a sudden out of nowhere, she's just like, "Oh, my friends they thought you with what I was explaining how you were, because I'd never seen him before, because she's been working. She worked every
They
day."
expected you to walk in a helmet. the way Tracy describes you
Did you say with the helmet?
with a helmet, coloring book in one hand, lunch in the other.
Thomas the Two Shoe
Till
Train.
everybody's walking up to you going, "Hi, Jay."
Oh, you must be Jay. Hi.
I'm crying.
You're making yourself cry. See,
know.
and
I know.
Tony came here, and I said, "Tony, I got a story to tell you." He's like, "Oh, damn it! I was trying not to make fun of you this week. This whole week, I was honoring the system of not making fun of Jay." And here he goes, crying his eyes out about calling me an R word.
I didn't say anything about you. I said the way Tracy describes you to her friends. So she says we got a marriage where I helped this guy out get back on his feet.
I don't know. He just likes coloring books and he wears a helmet every day. Shut up. Okay, so what? Well, actually, it was what she said. The first thing that the first thing the girl said. The girls, there's two of them, said to Tracy was, I thought your husband would have been a little taller.
Yeah, I would have saw that. I saw that
I'm like,
coming.
what the fuck are you telling them?
You're
I'm
like,
walking
I found the only woman on the earth who's shorter than me, and you still want me to be taller?
I'm like, what are you telling them that they think I'm like? They think I'm walking around our apartment changing light bulbs without ladders?
She still got the picture with that one actor on her desk.
What's up? What's up, Dave? Yeah, Dave, see my baseball. No, you see my baseball. You see my baseball? Have you seen? Good job, Dave. That was a good one. No, I'm just saying, what the hell is she telling them that like they thought I was taller with they're just why was she describing me to them? Was I walk around and be like, hey, look there's dust on top of the fridge? Like, am I that?
Well,
like,
they just probably expected a fully grown human. You have produced offspring. You have a career with a business.
First
and they're
off-
like, ooh.
First off, I am 5'11".
Maybe the helmet
Right,
with the helmet
You're
on.
My license says 6
Yeah,
foot.
You're
I'm
an
giving a
inch taller than me then. If you're 5'11".
Yeah, I am. I might be. We never
Okay.
stood back to back.
Yeah,
Actually, the other day we were.
did do this before. I'm like 2.5 inches
Get the
taller
fuck
than
out of here! You are not. So
God.
we actually were at home and we were using the tape measure to measure us, and I'm disappointed in my height. I thought I was taller. I'm not telling you guys what it came out
Not
to be.
5'11", 5'7.5".
How the fuck did you know that?
Because I'm about 2.5 inches taller than you, and I'm 5'10".
No, I wasn't 5.5. I was 5 7. I wasn't that tall.
What? I forgot. You're so the number sounds bigger. You were 8 16ths.
He's 2 7/8.
Dude, I was giving every 1/8 inch, 16th inch I could.
He's like,
Duh.
hold on, you're gonna measure me? Let me crack my back. He's lifting his own neck up to get straighter.
Well, usually people measure themselves when they have their shoes on, right? I mean, that's normal.
No.
You should do that. 'cause
That's measuring-
That's like a normal thing, I
That's
think.
measuring you plus shoes.
I know, but I think you should measure
Jeez.
people on their shoes because usually, when you see someone, they got shoes on, unless, they're walking around barefoot. And that just doesn't make sense. Unless you're on an island and sand and a nice, gorgeous beach or something.
Wait, so
I have shoes on right now. You have shoes on. Our height is with our shoes, okay? I'm going to buy one of those 2.5
you've got
inches.
inserts in your shoes. Is all you're
I was
saying.
gonna say we were talking about that 2.5 inch shoe thing that girls can wear push-up bras. What can and makeup and what guys need to be able to do something. They need to get height. And I'm like, yeah,
You
that
hide
makes
half
sense.
you two both hide half your faces behind hair. That's like
What?
I got
like makeup.
Tony pushes his hair above his hairline. How's he?
Tony
hiding?
hangs cinder blocks off his tits to make them drag on the ground.
Yeah.
Because that's what he likes. Leave him alone.
Wait,
My-
his tits?
Yeah.
my Duluth boxers have like a dick lifting pouch. Makes it sit in front of
Oh, I
in
see.
front of your body.
I seen those commercials. Why is your fucking balls getting stuck to your legs too much or something?
I just like them on display.
So do those actually? Okay, I've seen those commercials. Does that actually work?
I don't.
It's a
I
push
never-
up.
I never.
So you don't
actually
have
bought
'em?
No.
Why you a lying son of a bitch?
No. I do got a pair of drawers that are an elephant head where you shove your dick in the trunk. But
That's pretty good.
them are kind of weird to wear to work.
Yeah,
I would imagine so.
Tony and his whole is fucking outerwear and underwear and
Yeah,
clothing.
in the 90s, I had some Emmett Smiths, and maybe there were some Shaqs in there. They had the little pump on the thing. It would tighten up around your ankles.
those are
Did you have those to
Jordans,
make you
dude.
taller?
No, those just
The pump? Jordan never had no pumps.
Well, that wasn't Jordan.
No.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Pumps. Fuck yeah.
Do you have those ones that pumped up the lower so you're like you You were walking up to a girl and you could reach down and make yourself an
No,
inch and a
they-
half taller.
They just like squeeze your foot, basically.
to
they
give you
don't do
more-
anything.
To give you more speed.
So you don't roll
can
your ankle.
Jump higher.
To give you more speed.
So Dave's got some pouch underwear. He says that they're not good as advertised. So I won't be purchasing any of those. But I can't
Hey,
wait.
David, don't forget to head over to our YouTube channel. Pretty soon we're going to stop broadcasting on Facebook.
No, we're
so
not.
you're going to want to have to get over to our YouTube channel. That's where the chats happen. That's where the action is, buddy.
We can't change where we're going. We have
3 dimes.
We're
on,
gonna lose everyone.
3 dimes on YouTube. YouTube's where it's at.
I was gonna say about those shoes though, those 2.5 shoes. I just want to see your guys' reaction, just out of nowhere. Me walking in with those.
When
I
you
wanna
walk in on normal height and shit.
fuck off. I walk in here. I want to see if you guys
I'd be
actually
like, whoa,
notice.
Jay, did you get laid last night?
You guys notice the difference, and I walk in. But
I will
the problem
not
is,
notice.
those shoes are so ugly and noticeable that you can't not.
Yeah, it's like when
Hide
you're,
them.
when you're on a mountain and you look down at the city, it's really hard to tell which building's taller. That's kind of what it would be like for me and Tony if you came in just a couple inches taller. We're so high up, it'd be hard for us to...
I had a really good friend in my early 20s who was actually much smaller than you.
I'm not that small.
No, I know.
I'm
That's what
5.
I'm saying.
I'm normal height.
That's why I'm making the
I'm
point
5
that he was much smaller
I'm
than
5'9.5".
you. Right. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, you can tell yourself anything
Well, my
you want.
license says
I don't care.
6 foot.
Right,
So
I know.
I lie about that.
6'1" on Grinder, but
Grinder?
yeah,
No, you can't do that.
your
Grindr.
dating site.
Oh, it's a dating site?
Yeah,
I thought skateboarders go there.
I'm sure there's a few.
That wasn't a
But
funny joke.
I had this really good friend, and he was easily a foot shorter than me. And
I'm not a foot shorter
I
than
never like noticed that he was smaller than me.
Wait.
Like I just didn't until one day we went.
You
to
don't see height?
yeah.
I don't. Like
Wait. He's a foot tall, shorter than you.
Yeah.
And you've never.
You are a strong ageist, but you don't see height.
no.
Never noticed he was smaller than me. I mean, this guy was. He was. But I don't know. Was he always?
Was he always the little spoon?
Was he always-
What kind of relationship was this?
Was he always
So,
on a curb when you were
Inside
talking to him?
spoon looks the same size.
All right,
but
I
is
get it.
smaller.
I get it. I got it. You guys always pulled up next to each other in your cars and talked to each other. That's how you did it. That's why you never knew who.
No. So
How small
so
he
one
was.
day we walk into the strip club together, and the strip club is like all mirrors on the inside, and we're walking. And I look into the mirror at us walking towards the mirror, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
You're
like-
way shorter than.
I'm like,
I don't
I
get-
never noticed how much smaller you were than me.
I really don't understand that statement. That I mean, you know when someone's that much smaller than you.
You just didn't realize how much bigger you were.
Yeah, I just didn't understand.
Were you talking about- were you
Probably
talking-
have broader shoulders and height.
You're also talking about width and length.
Everything. Dude's
Girth.
like 5'4" maybe.
Oh my,
And
5'4".
and
That's
maybe-
smaller than Kevin Hart.
Maybe 110 pounds.
That's
like
Like
insane.
he's a little man. I'm 2 of him.
yeah.
See, there you go. Dave says he's not your friend; he's your cousin.
Well,
You're talking about Dave.
David's never been 110 pounds.
Oh, woo!
Bingo.
That's grade school shit right there. But
Grade school shit.
but no, my buddy, and I should have, it should have correlated to me better because in our friend group, his name was Little Brian because we had a normal Brian.
Usually they do like an opposite thing. Like they do when someone's big, they do a little
No, he was Little Brian.
when he's big, and then
Dude,
big Brian when he's small.
on his tool pouch, he'd put his hammer in his hammer loop, and the handle would drag on the ground. It's crazy.
You must have a long hammer. Wow, that's crazy. So that was my story about the about nothing really. So Chris, what did you do this week that subside,
So this week
raises the bar on husbandhood.
Well, last weekend I was doing all of the honey-do list stuff and just all the little nits and things around the house. And I got these really old glass crystal handled doorknobs from the 50s in my house.
Yeah. That you were looking for, that you wanted to find forever.
So I found the little set screw, and I was just gonna go tighten the set screws. Just a thing to do. Like, bam! If I do this, they won't come loose. No handles will ever hit the floor. Tightened it up real good. Turned the knob, opened the door a couple times. I was like, all right, this is working good. Went to go open the door again, and the fucking handle wouldn't even turn. It wouldn't operate. The fucking lock mechanism was broken.
You tightened it too tight.
So then I'm like, now the insides of this thing's broken. That happened on the closet door already. I couldn't find the fucking insides of that sons of a bitch. So that was already non-latched, just push door. But this is a locked bathroom door. Like, it needs a handle. So I'm like, fuck. I'm going to go get the inside. So I look on the internet. I find it's like $8 or $9. Menards has the size I need. I'm going to go get it. I get to Menards, and I see that I'm looking for this stuff over by all the doors. I can't really find what I'm looking for. It's this special size with the square instead of the round. It's not modern like the round ones. But then I see that they have a full handle, striker, insides, modern handles with the lock, oil rub bronze. The wife wanted them all the $6 instead of like $12 for this other thing. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this one and the front door, or the front closet door. Fantastic. Get it home, get the other shit out. I'm like, all right, here we go.
This costed you 4 extra trips to Menards.
I rip open the package. I'm like, sweet, let's install this shit. I look at the fucking lock mechanism. I'm like, this thing looks a little bit bigger than my hole here.
Oh, you split the door, pounding it in.
So then I got to put it in the door. So I'm like, all right, should I just fucking pound it? I'm like, no. I'll go. So I go out to the garage, get my fucking bit. I got a paddle bit, so the hole's just a little bit too small. My paddle bit fits in there just right. Jesus. So I got it in there, drilled it out. No problems, dude. Not at all.
How did that go?
Because you know how the fucking paddle bit hits when you're starting a hole that's it's like a 7/8 hole, and I'm starting to stick the 1-inch paddle bit in there, and I had to get it real good, steady, ready to go. Got it in there. No problems, right?
I like his sound effects. They're like exact.
Slide the bitch in there. Fits great. Pull it back out.
What tool he's talking about.
I go get the handle. The lock mechanism on this handle, this modern handle, this new age shit, needs a 2 1/8 inch hole for it, right?
And you got the 1 7/8.
My door's hole's about 5/8 round. Okay? So I'm like, all right. I got a hole.
Keep going at it.
I happen to have a 2 1/8 hole saw. No problem. I got a nice drill,
a
hole saw,
or a spade.
But then I'm like, it's a hole saw, right?
Doesn't have to be smaller than.
So then I'm like, but the problem is I already got my center hole. No, I already got my center hole there. That's much larger than my pilot hole. So I can't start with my pilot.
What are you doing over
saw,
there?
right? So I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? Well, I have this old school hole saws that has multiple sizes on one base.
With the crank,
so I'm like,
with a wood crank
I'll just
like
figure the one out. No, like the saw. So I'll just figure this out. The littler one wouldn't fit in the hole because they're both the same depth hole saw, right? You following?
Yeah.
No.
So then I'm like, okay, my hole saw is not going to work. What do I do? And I start racking my brain. I'm like, there's got to be a way to do this. I can't be the first person. So I know there is now. But here's what I did. With what I had, what I did. I'm like, I'll just get my skill saw.
Oh, my Lord.
So I'm like, I'm good with the skill saw. skill saw. So I'm gonna start in the hole in the center.
Oh my God.
Circle my way
Yeah.
around and make my nice fucking hole.
While the door's still on.
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of I wasn't gonna take it off. So here I am. Now this. I'm actually kind of embarrassed about this whole story, right? So it's embarrassing.
As you should be.
It was very foolish. Very foolish of me. But I wanted the job done. I'm like, this will take me 20 minutes. I got these new handles. This will take me 20 minutes. I'll swap them out. Wife will bang me for all the fucking new handles and life will be good, right? No.
All new doors.
Didn't go well. So hole saw didn't work. Got my skill saw. Jigsaw. Did I say skill saw before? Jigsaw. I got my jigsaw. Start cutting. Well, the one I had, the blade was too short. I don't have any extra blades for that one, but I had this other one with the longer blade on it. So
now
I
you got a sawzall.
No, I got this still another skill saw or another
We got you. No, we got you.
jigsaw, but this one's an old ass one I used to use and it's fucking busted. There's no fucking gauge on it, brace or nothing. The fucking blade's bending on me. It's not working. So I get like a quarter of it cut out. Like this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work at all. I'm gonna go get my drill bit. I'm gonna go get a drill bit. Just like I don't know, 3/8 drill bit, maybe smaller. I'm using. And I'll drill a bunch of holes, and then I'll use the saw to cut out my spots. So, ying, 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 and put in like 20 holes around in a circle. Then I got my little skill saw again. But then I had a little hand, a drywall saw, a little hand drywall saw.
God.
And I'm cutting between the edges. I get it all out. It's fine. It worked fine. I stick
God,
the hand.
I wish you would have recorded.
Yeah,
that.
I know. I kept thinking I should take pictures of
I was
this
gonna
shit.
say
and
you
record
should
it.
have put your phone.
So
on
I
the-
stick the handle in there. I get it in there. Bam, bing, boom. No problem. None at all. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, that was a disaster. I'm not doing it that way again. Halfway through the thing, I'm like, Katie, just order all new doors, the whole house, everything. Get the hinges you want,
Hire
get
a
the handles,
carpenter.
get it all done. We're just gonna buy the fucking pre-hung doors. We're tearing it all out, put in new shit. But I got it in there. And I'm like, all right, I got this other handle.
So-
I'm gonna do this, right? So I still didn't figure it out. Just wait, it gets better. I've figured it out now. I'm like, duh.
Wait, Tony.
Should have done this in the beginning, but I figured this out. So now I'm like, all right. I drilled out my hole, but this time I stuffed it with a duct tape ball so that I could start my pilot hole. Once I got my pilot hole started, I was able to drill just no problem. You know, once I got in eighth or so into the door, eighth to a quarter into the door, I was able to take my fucking plug of tape out and actually drill. It was no problem. It worked out fine. Now I realize what I should do is to take a blank sheet of wood, like maybe a 1/2-inch plywood, drill my hole, and then take that half sheet of plywood and tape it to my door as a template to start my drill. And then I can just do that.
You could have done that. You also could have used your hole saw that was basically the same size as the hole already and cut yourself a dowel plug
Yeah.
and CA glue that in the hole.
But then I would have had to use, I would have had to create 9 of them for all doors. This year I have one template and I can just use it.
So
for all
this is
doors.
what you think made you the husband of the week?
Better than bringing my wife some cold ass fucking Pantera bread when you show up and the people.
What? Take
and
a poll.
embarrass her
Take a
at
poll.
work with your height.
With my helmet, you dickhead.
With your height.
Take a poll. I'm pretty sure a woman would like the lunch over fixing doors. Who cares about doors?
She did, very much so. So much so that after I did these 2 handles, I decided that I'm going to go ahead and get all new hinges for all the doors.
That's
and
a lot
all
of
the
work,
handles.
dude.
So and here it gets even better because the hinges that I bought are residential hinges for nowadays.
Right.
And they're maybe like 200 mil, like
Thickness?
yeah. They're like 2 mil.
They're
or
like a
something.
16th of an inch.
Yes. There you go. So, but they do it in weight of iron, weight of plate steel. It's like a 200 weight steel.
Yeah. It's a
Well,
3
when my
gauge.
house was built back in '58, They just had one kind of fucking hinge, and it was the heavy duty big fucking hinges, like the ones that are used on the outdoor door.
The ones
Yeah.
that,
And they
the
were
ones that
very,
last.
they're very thick, like 1/8 of an inch thick per side.
Yeah.
I didn't notice this until I had replaced the hinges on 2 doors already.
So would you have the pad?
When
It
I
wouldn't
went to go
close.
shut it, I'm like, why is this door resisting shutting? Why is this little strip of
He's resisting me.
why is this little strip of trim work here wanting to come off and the paint cracking here in the crevices? Oh, it's because my hinges are too thin.
When do you just add padding to it or something?
So you can buy this material. It's like a wedge, but they're typically tapered to make a door that's sunk in, or the frame has settled in some fashion that you need to kind of tilt out the top or the bottom, and you knock these things in deeper and less deep and cut them. So then I'm like, well, that's not what I need.
No,
so I kept
that's-
reading, and I
that's-
found on some homeowners happy helpers Reddit page,
Too much.
just cut up an old fucking cereal box and used 2 pieces back to back of the cereal
Shim it.
box and screwed them in, fixed
Shim
it up.
it.
Fixed it up just real good.
We do that shit all the time when we're trying to get walls flat.
So then I move on to the upstairs the next day, and then that time the closet one won't come off. It's like fucking someone JB welded it into place because the fucking set screw must have been falling off back in the day. So I can't get the fucking handle off. I start realizing, oh, that's why all my closet doors inside sides of the handles crystals are all shattered, because someone's fucking ball peen hammered trying to get them out like I am right now. So then I just fucking got Sawzall happy. Fucking caught all the fucking handles. I still got a couple doors to do though.
I mean, sounds like a pretty fun weekend.
Oh, I'm doing it in a way where I just got tools and everything all over the fucking place, jamming some tunes. Yeah.
Should call Tony. He's an expert, and he just loves to help friends out. Like he cuts your hair all the time.
I got 5 more doors to do.
Like,
Six,
I mean-
6 more doors to do.
I'll tell you right now, if he cuts your hair for free, he'll fix your doors for free.
It's probably
Tony?
the kind of friend.
Tony?
I mean, pretty much.
I'd have you help, Jay, but I don't want you working with your hands over your head on these knobs
can't
all
reach
day.
him, you dickhead.
Blow your shoulder out.
Hey Tony, I've been wanting to put your video on live, or at least on the podcast. Can we do that? Can we do that now without
What video?
a video of your punishment that I didn't do?
Why don't you just make a video of it and we'll do a premiere?
Because I want to like react to it. Fine, we won't do it.
Well, we're not hooked up. We'll have to do it later
Okay, whatever. Fine.
on TikTones. I got it on here.
So anyway, Saturday morning, the 3-year-old wakes up.
Vomiting.
And so me and my wife have been in about a 2-year-long argument about who's the better cook. It's obviously me, but she is better at just blindly following a recipe to a T and having it not turn out bad. But when we're talking like real cooking, like having just a pile of shit at your house and turning it into something amazing, that's all me. If she doesn't have some printed piece of paper from the internet, she ain't shit. And I'll tell her that to her face.
Ooh, damn. I think I'm going to have to stop ordering Wingstop, and we're going to have to start taking turns. Your food, your wife's food.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think we should do that.
So Saturday morning, she always, if I'm not working on a Saturday, I'm immediately volunteered to cook breakfast Saturday, Sunday. Like, I'm the only one who can cook breakfast. The only thing she can cook in the morning is cereal.
There's no instructions for
I think we
cooking
should
eggs.
get. I think we should get your wife on the phone to collaborate this, or at least back your story, because
Corroborate.
I want to collaborate.
Corroborate.
Well, we're not going to corroborate if she doesn't.
All right.
She doesn't believe him. So you're not the only one talking about someone else that's not here to back themselves up.
So my 3-year-old wakes up. She asks him, what do you want for breakfast?
I'm off the Bluetooth.
And he says
Daddy's eggs.
the obvious choice.
French toast.
I want a fillet of salmon.
Good kid. Jeez, lucky kid.
Yeah. So
I had bagged cereal.
so my
You're
wife's
feeding
like
your kids salmon?
my wife's like
Did you
your
call it
dad's not salmon. Your dad is not making salmon for
I like
breakfast.
I like how you change words, Chris. It's lovely.
It's how it smelled.
And
That's
I go,
a fish pun.
you bet your fucking ass I'm making a salmon. So I bust out the cast iron. I chop up an onion. We had some asparagus in there. I
How do you
grabbed
keep-
some asparagus.
How do you keep the salmon from not sticking to that iron? Because that shit is sticky. Unless you
Yeah.
just have it.
Got to get it hot. You got to get it right.
But what do you grease it with?
I do a little bit of oil with a little
'Cause
bit of
fish
butter.
is so hard to cook
No,
without it
It's
sticking.
perfect
Okay, fine.
every time.
Fine.
I took a picture of the pan, but I had capers in there. I had white wine. I had little butter, little oil.
This is breakfast.
Onions, yeah, onions, capers, all this shit. I cook it up. I give my kid one fillet of salmon. I take the other fillet. I cook that up. While that's cooking, I made a from scratch hollandaise sauce, and then made salmon omelets
Jesus Christ.
with onions and capers in them, and topped it off with the asparagus, and put the hollandaise sauce over it.
Well, you
And
just go.
handed it to her.
You just go overboard with things, Tony. You
And-
just go way overboard. Too
And
far.
She's like, she starts eating it, and she's like, "Did you just do this to prove you're a better fucking cook than me?" And I go, "Why do you like it?" And she goes, "It's the best fucking thing I've ever eaten in my life."
Liar.
So, no.
Liar.
So Sunday, that was Sunday morning. Yeah, that was Sunday morning.
And Monday
Monday
she
night.
got sick.
Monday night, she made me cook her another salmon and make more hollandaise sauce. Yeah, this is what a breakfast skillet at the Kavanaugh house looks like
Show it on the screen.
when Dad's cooking.
It's pretty legit.
What's the? Let me see again.
It's the backside of the
Oh,
salmon
okay.
skin.
It looked like netting.
Yeah, netting. So
I'm not
Little-
a huge.
little pro tip:
I'm not a huge. Okay, go ahead.
when
I'm
you're
sorry.
when you're doing cast iron fish, I always put my garlic on top of the skin of the fish because
'Cause
I
if
cook
you-
it face down,
You don't want it burnt.
and then when I flip it, it doesn't burn.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of buying fish from the store. I'm more of a fan of like catching it out of the ocean and eating it.
There's not very many oceans in Lake Country, Wisconsin.
That's
No.
why I live in Florida.
No, you don't. You
Well, I mean,
delusional.
Just because your
dead-
parents are there
You're
right now
dead
does not
and
mean you
live in
fucking live there.
Our parents are not in Florida. They're in Punta Cana.
They're in goddamn Florida.
Punta Cana. Punta
No,
Cana.
it's Petersburg. They're in St. Petersburg.
They're in Clearwater.
Looking at condos
they're
for
in-
old man Scott's retirement.
They're in Clearwater.
They're
I
look-
wish I was
looking
in
at
Florida. 'Cause
one-bedroom
this weather,
apartments.
this weather sucks, man. Teased the shit out of us 2 weeks ago. I don't
That
know.
was last week. 2 weeks when you're listening to this.
Exactly. You know what? I think I
Four
had.
if
I think
you
I
know.
had Tony, and then now it's fucking cold. But actually, today was pretty nice. But the thunderstorm kind of fucked it up.
Dude, the weather on Saturday was the shit. I didn't even put sleeves on, man.
Well, you're gonna have to put them on this next week and weekend because it's gonna be 40s, 50s.
It's been cold lately.
It's fucking freezing. That's terrible. This is spring starts. What's the first day of spring?
Like a
March
month ago?
20 something.
yeah, like a
Sure.
month ago.
Okay, so a month ago, and it is still snowing. It snowed twice, maybe 3 times.
I don't call it snow.
I got
unless
caught
it's
in a
there.
hailstorm yesterday.
Hailstorm is not snow. That is warm. Okay, it's not warm, but usually
It's
hail
ice.
hail happens in the summertime because warm air mixes with cold air high up. Then it, ask a meteorologist. They
Yeah.
know more.
It was full hail yesterday.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's right. My wife was talking about getting hail hit when she on her drive home, and I was like, "What? Fuck! I was sleeping."
You're like, it melted by the time it got to me.
I'm just kidding. Oh man, what was I saying? Oh
You're
yeah, I
talking
live in
about
Florida.
how the weather sucks.
I
You
li- I
live
live
in
in Florida.
Florida. I live in Florida. You're so delusional.
So my brother
I
caught
live in Florida.
4 largemouth bass on Saturday, and I appreciate the fact that he does fish by himself and catch these fish. But again, like when he shows me the fish, to me that's the size of the bait I use when I fish in Florida. And
You
it's-
don't fish.
That's
You
the size
put
of
out
a hole
bait.
in my kayak.
I catch fish that can murder and kill your whole family. Okay, I don't think a bass can even touch your 4-year-old, or hurt, or bother, or even scare him. I'm talking about fish that can kill people. I want to catch those fish, even a swordfish that are not, not meat eaters.
First off,
or I mean,
you've only caught these bottom feeding fucking Florida inbred sharks.
okay, they're not
Big
bottom.
fucking deal.
They're not bottom feeding. First off, secondly, you need talent to reel in a shark. You try reel.
Okay.
I'd like to. I would love to see
Okay.
you try reeling a 6-foot shark.
You
and
gotta-
not have
you
it
gotta
break
have
your
some
line.
real
Not
talent.
break your line.
You got to have some real talent to bring in that fucking dirty ass nurse shark.
You're talking about killing something that ain't even got arms, bro.
and then you don't, because you're such a pussy, you don't even take the fucking hook out of its mouth.
It's so
you just
stupid.
cut the line like a
it
bitch.
Just,
No,
it's so
no.
stupid. It bites food that's just hanging there. It doesn't have any arms, and you're talking
That's
like
what
you're this
Jay's
fucking
out there-
animal that's gonna murder my family can't even come out of the motherfucking water, dude.
Jay's out
I
there
ain't
fishing
afraid of
with a
no
rotten
shark.
chicken breast.
That's what every fish does. Is they just bite something hanging there or slightly swimming if you're using a lure. I mean, what's the difference?
For real, you just dangle some rotten ass chicken breast from your hook.
It takes
Wheel
a
it
lot.
out there on a fucking busted kayak, and
It's
like,
like those-
I'm a true fisherman.
It's like those swamp hunters that call themselves hunters when they catch a alligator on a hook and they drag it in, pull it up next to their boat and shoot it in the head at point blank. That's not hunting.
Dan, you
that's
are
trapping.
absolutely right. Jay could never fish the lakes by us and be successful because he can't just fucking put a tube in the ground, put his pole out, and let it sit there all day until a bum drags it away.
I actually have a record for the largest smallmouth bass caught. Smallmouth bass caught on a certain lake, and Browns Lake, I think it is. And they measured it, weighed it, all that shit. It's a smallmouth bass, and I don't know the difference. I just knew that it was a record, and it wasn't even that big. It was like the size of this fucking hand right here. And I was like, "That's a record."
Well, since
fuck?
Dan's obviously a real fisherman, I got a season-long dock this year, Dan. We're going fishing. And we're not inviting your bullshit brother.
What do you mean season-long dock?
I rented somebody's dock, so my boat is staying in the water
Oh, that's cool.
all year where I don't have to take it in and put it out. I just fucking park in the driveway and walk into my boat and fish.
All right, well, Dan's going to back me up right here. Okay? So read this little statement right here, Tony, out loud so everyone can hear it on the podcast.
It does take skill and height to reel in a big shark,
The height's not in there. Read the rest.
especially by pylons where Jay caught his.
Yeah, you know what pylons are?
I do know what pylons are.
Okay, so your line, they wrap the shark
You're
wrap.
fucking.
You have
You're
to,
just
you have
sitting
to
around bridge fishing.
Okay, you have to steer this shark. You have to steer this fish to whatever you're catching.
Same
away
thing I got to
from-
do with my bluegill on an ultralight. It's
All you
the
gotta do
same
is,
fucking
all
thing.
you gotta do is just whip it really hard and it flies in the air like 20 feet because it's only like a
It's the
half
same
a
thing.
pound.
It's
and
perspective.
it lands in your fucking lap.
I'm basically using a pole made out of hay with 1 pound test on it to catch a 2 pound fish. You're using 400-pound braided line
They
on
don't
something
make
that's as stiff
400-pound
as a
braided
fucking
line.
shoot of bamboo.
400 pound braided line. Get the fuck out. You don't
You're
make
fucking
that.
using rope and chicken breast on a piece of bamboo to fucking bring in some
Who catches a shark
bullshit ass shark.
with chicken breasts? Is that part of their fucking
It's
normal
all you,
diet?
It's all you had, Jay. and the beans wouldn't stay on the hook. They kept coming off.
I like it.
I couldn't
So-
find big enough
like it.
beans for my.
So you ran to Chick-fil-A for bait.
I wouldn't doubt it if you could catch a fish with any sort of fucking just anything. Just
The
fucking
best luck I've
mustard.
had fishing was with pizza on a hook. That's the best luck I've had. Slamming them, dude.
You just like
Slamming
cut,
them.
you just cut it in like little
Slices
squares.
of pepperoni, put them right through the crust, cast that bitch out, instantly snatched up.
Well, lake fish, you
Everything
just,
likes pizza.
You just spit in the lake and they'll fucking go after it. Just spit and then fucking
The
reel.
only thing good about fishing is pissing in the lake and drinking beer.
I don't know,
That's it.
man. I think there's so many qualities of fish. But again, I don't like lake fishing. But Jay needs to fish all other species. He's a fisherman. Can't fish. Well, my brother he always asks me to go fishing in fresh water, but I can't stand this. Every fish looks the same, unless it's a trout. But they ain't no trouts in fucking the lakes he's going to. They're in rivers, right? Trouts.
Depends.
Or is there trout
How
in
about
Michigan?
them Great Lakes
The
tuna?
Great Lake is filled with trout.
You say tuna in Great Lakes?
But Jay, you're not saltwater fishing. You're not taking a boat out for mahi one day and then going after red fucking grouper
I wish
the
I
other
could.
day.
I'm not rich.
You're sitting on a goddamn beach trying to catch a fucking shark with raw meat.
Yeah, but it takes a lot of skill to find out
It
where
does
they're
not
coming.
take that much skill to just drag and wait until something's fucking bent over going, oh shit, I
That's
got
what
a shark
fishing.
now.
That's what fishing is about.
It
It's
sounds
the
a
waiting
lot
time.
like ice fishing to me, where you just set the tip,
Pretty
you
much.
tip up, it catches it, and then once
Which,
it's
do you know
caught
what-
on there, you pull it out of the water.
You know what ice fishing takes? No skill.
You know what? Everybody has their own little.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. You just keep talking shit about people who are out fishing real fish, and you're out catching. How many of these shark have you kept and ate?
Oh, I don't want to eat a shark. Gross.
Okay, so what the fuck are you doing it for?
Oh, it's fun. It's awesome. Catching something that can kill you. I mean, if you could catch a bear, and
You're already
release it-
married.
I was just gonna say,
And
doesn't
release
she
it-
sleep in the room outside your closet door?
If you could catch something and release it freely in the wild again for it to to thrive and just live and just to be up close to something that could just rip you apart. I mean, doesn't that intrigue you a little bit? Dude, when I catch I'll catch a shark, even if it's a small one, like 2 feet long.
It could still eat you whole. I don't know why we can't do that. I'll go stop.
I get all these people walking down the beach and they'll just fucking surround me like
Look at this lunatic who's thinking that this is fun and pulling in a
No,
shark.
these fucking crazy people are like, "Can I hold it? Can I take pictures?" I'm like, "No, I have to put it back in the water or it dies." No, but it's like people don't see that stuff.
You should see
face
the
to
crowd. You should see the crowds around me when I'm bass fishing. Shit gets wild.
That's what I'm saying though. It's like you catch a bass, you hold it up in the air. It's like people are like, "Oh my god, he caught a fucking
Dude.
bass."
Yeah, and then
They're
all
like-
the girls show me their tits, and I go back to business.
Titties,
Oh, my
titties,
God.
titties,
Life works,
titties.
bro.
Back in the water.
Okay, I'm-
Catch and release, ladies. Catch and release.
I'm not talking about popularity when it comes to catching something, but I'm just saying it's more riveting, it's more exciting, it's more thrilling to catch something giant, huge that could kill you and keep it without first off killing it, secondly getting the hook out. And yes, I do take the hook out, Tony, you
Bullshit.
cocksucker.
Bullshit.
The 7 or 8 foot one or 10 foot one, whatever foot it was, I did not take that out just because it was dark. I could not see the hook, so I had to cut the line. Yes, that one. But I usually always take 90% of the time. I take the hook
Do you
out.
dig your hand in and try to get your chicken breast back out?
to get my bait back. No, so it's not the fact that it's more like exciting. It's just, I mean, it is more exciting, but it's just like I don't know. I mean, I can't explain it.
It is exciting when I fished with my brother in the Gulf of Mexico, and he caught his hammerhead shark.
Bonnethead.
it was really exciting. But it was also exciting when we caught all the other fish that we didn't even know what the fuck they were.
I know that's what
It's
I'm
equally as exciting.
and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying just catching sharks.
And we didn't-
I don't
we didn't
just
even-
catch sharks.
We didn't even know if any of these fish were edible. I mean, we knew the shark. Nobody's fucking eating that nasty shark.
Well, I guess bonnet head.
I caught a manatee. I mean,
You did not catch a manatee.
yeah, I did. It was with the propeller of my boat.
Oh my god.
Ouch.
Sucked.
Burn.
That's actually a bad.
This episode of 3 Dimes is brought to you by PETA.
That's how a lot of manatees die.
I know. You can't see where the fuck they are. They're just laying there.
Yeah. Fishing's about it. Fishing
So
is,
let's get off the fishing topic because I know Chris is getting bored.
it's boring. Fishing's boring.
It's all in your
I
perspective.
like to do it every once in a while. I like boring every once in a while.
Well, you're catching pan and sunfish. I mean, that's fucking boring.
That's the
as
most
fuck.
fun because you can slap fucking 30 of them in an hour. It's like, bam, got another one. Woo!
And it's like
Get
the
the fish
same-
out, take a picture, throw it in the back of the water.
Chris, would
chuck
you-
it back out, catch the same fucking fish. Hey, it's the same idiot fish. He didn't even get the worm this time. He's just nipped on my. He straight up ate the hook.
Isn't that annoying though?
And you stick the fucking vice grips right down the throat, pull the fucking hook out, throw it
pull
out
the
there.
intestines out with the hook.
The last statement
And
that
then there's days you go fishing and you're sitting there all fucking day.
yeah,
And
nothing.
you sit there and this eagle comes. Boop, pops a fish, flies across the lake. Then you're like, fuck
fucking
fishing.
asshole.
I follow the fucking eagle, watch it eat it. That's a good day too.
For the end of this fishing conversation, I just wanted to point out what Tony said earlier about you're in the ocean, you're catching fish. It's exciting because you
Yeah.
have no idea what it's going to be. It's always a different size, shape, and color. But when you're in the lake, in the big lakes, whatever it is, it's always the same fucking color. It's always similar
same
size.
fish.
It's the same fucking fish. I like saltwater fish because they're different.
Yeah, it's a much bigger lake to choose from. If you go from an inland lake to I mean, it's still, but like Lake Michigan, there's huge differences in the fish. And then you go to the ocean, there's even bigger differences in the fish. I mean, it's based on perspective of size of body of water. You know, a little body of water doesn't hold 60-inch fucking muskie, but a big lake does.
Yeah.
You know, big fucking salmon and the big trout can't survive in a little lake. They have to be in like Lake Michigan.
Well, I would like to catch a fucking giant trout. I know trout get pretty damn big. What, they get like fucking, 4 or 5 feet?
You want to do a charter this summer?
I'm-
I don't really. I mean, charters are fun, but I don't really like trolling for fish.
No,
That's, to me, that's not
I don't need
really fishing.
I don't need someone to show me how to fish. I can fish.
Well, they don't show you how to fish.
Show you where they are.
They drop fucking 15 lines in the water and they drive around
can do
till
that.
something.
I can do that. If you
Called
have a
trolling.
boat. If
I
you have
hate
a
it.
boat. Oh, that's just Well, that's again, like you said, it's not a skill. It's just a drop and weight.
That's how they catch like
right,
mahi and
well,
shit in the ocean.
You said you got a little whatever you have. Let's go fishing there, and then
My vessel.
your vessel. Land it there. So, this has been a great episode, guys. This has been a great Thursday. I'm always happy to see you, both of you. It always makes my week, and it's always at the end of the week, so it's always a great time.
That's so nice, Jay.
Thursday and Friday is my favorite days. Friday because work's ending, and Thursday because I got a podcast. I don't know about you guys, but what else is there?
I like it, Jay.
What else
I
is
like
there?
it.
So this episode's coming to an end. Remember, like, subscribe, and watch our live shows, especially TikToks, because those are actually probably the most interesting thing that we can provide to any audience.
All right,
and
Chris, take us out with some smut.
Man, strange, peculiar, insatiable animal, a highly sexual animal. His pursues are feminine prey. He catches her, he beds her. By legal protocol first, binding her with the marital vows, the marriage certificate, and then the standard words, I love you. And then Then he either becomes bored with his bedmate or while still loving her in his own way, finds himself being drawn towards another figure, another pair of legs between which he seeks to cast his anchor, to plant his seed, to plumb the depths of passion at least once, and then next week on the Three Dimes podcast.
Awesome. So stay tuned if you're watching live for TikTones coming up. Peace.